Bolivian President Luis Arce and his Argentinian counterpart Alberto Fernandez inaugurated an international interconnection line which will supply northern Argentina with electricity. Russian forces thwart an Ukrainian attempt to break into the city of Shebekino in the Belgorod region, Russian Defense Ministry's spokesman Igor Konashenko told reports on Thursday. BRICS foreign ministers met in South Africa and advocate the strengthening of multilateralism and the expansion of the bloc's cooperation. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Ana Marrero from the teleSUR headquarters in Caracas, Venezuela. We'll begin with the news. Stay with us. Bolivian President Luis Arce and his Argentine counterpart Alberto Fernandez inaugurated an international interconnection line which will supply northern Argentina with electricity. The construction of the thermoelectric power plant in the Bolivian town of Yaguacua was completed in March 2018, while the Argentine side was finished in May 2019 for a total investment of $364 million. The 120 kilometers interconnection line, of which more than 46 kilometers are in Bolivia and over 73 in Argentina, joins the Yaguacua substation in Bolivian territory with the Tarragona substation in Argentina. Bolivian President Arce referred to the project as a demonstration of the necessary Latin American brotherhood.
It is an important project. As our Minister of Hydrocarbons has already mentioned, it has required investment resources. But beyond the investment, the important thing about this action is to consolidate this brotherhood, this friendship, this integration of two brotherly countries, such as our fellow Argentine Republic and the plurinational state of Bolivia, that consolidate integration and cooperation between the countries of South America, with these facts in practice and in reality.
For his part, Argentine President Alberto Fernandez highlighted integrative work of President Arce in addition to the progress made in the recovery of the Bolivian economy.
One of those pieces of evidence of how Lucha works in favor of its integrity, of its unity, of the progress of Bolivia and of helping the progress of South America. One of those pieces of evidence is here. It is here, in this thermoelectric plant, which takes electricity to Argentina.
In Chile, state-owned Codelco, the world's largest copper producer, closed its Ventanas milling plant after 6 decades of hauling polluting activity. During a ceremony, Codelco Ventanas operations manager Pablo Bogel gave the order to definite list of the Teniente converter furnace. Moreover, during the ceremony, images of flames from the smelter furnace were shown gradually these emissions until they were fully extinguished. The government of the leftist Gabriel Boric fulfilled its promise to shut down parts of Codelco's operation in Quintero and Puchuncaví, and industrial base of 50,000 inhabitants 140 kilometers west of Santiago. Hundreds of citizens have mobilized in Uruguay in defense of water rights, and they have warned that the country is running out of water reserves.
The consequence of the extreme drought Uruguay has been experiencing, compounded with mismanagement of the water crisis by the national government, are causing an unprecedented situation in the country. Water reserves are seriously depleted and the quality of water is getting worse and worse. The situation is making citizens to mobilize periodically in defense of water rights.
The reason for the mobilization is the water deficit we are experiencing in Uruguay and the situation we are in. From the start, it was us who denounced the consequences the drought would bring. It was the workers, not the government, who put the issue on the table. Then the government responded with a press conference. They say they were doing it to give us peace of mind, but so far there has been no peace of mind.
There has been no peace of mind because in the last official report by the water company, they say that there are water reserves for only 20 days, and the meteorological reports are not encouraging either. Therefore, hundreds of citizens marched in the cool of the night in Montevideo, the capital, demanding the government for solutions and that it complies with guaranteeing the right to drinking water.
Today, the human right to water is no longer guaranteed. The irresponsibility of the water company's board of directors and the inconsistencies of the authorities at the Environment Ministry have exacerbated the worst drinking water supply crisis in the history of this country.
One of the strongest demands made is that the government vetoes the Neptuno project, which would mean the privatization of water, which contravenes national legislation.
Again, we have taken to the streets so that water remains in public hands. People have defended all public companies against the threat of privatization. Now it is the Neptuno project, a project that, as our comrades have said, offers no solution to the situation we're living in today, but on the contrary, responds to private interests and will exacerbate the violation of this fundamental human right.
The Uruguayan social movement remains steadfast in its defense of water and has also put forward several proposals. Given the current drinking water shortage, workers want the government to issue a sanitary emergency and government intervention in the market to regulate prices, to exempt the most vulnerable households from water rates, and to draw up a plan for schools, hospitals, and prisons. The government has not yet replied to the proposals.
Mateo Brille, teleSUR, Montevideo, Uruguay.
Mexican authorities found 45 bags containing an unknown number of human remains. The bags were found at an overlook of a forest area of the outskirts of Guadalajara in northwestern Mexico. The State Prosecutor's Office of Jalisco said on Wednesday in a statement according to report from the Associated Press. Firefighters and civil defense workers recovered the bags, which contain an unknown amount of bodies of both men and women, using a helicopter to recover them from the gorge where they were located. Work on recovering the bodies is expected to continue in the coming days, authorities said. There are more than 110,000 missing people in Mexico, and Jalisco is the state with the highest numbers at 115,000, according to the federal government data. Let's take a very short break now, but remember you can now follow us on our TikTok account as teleSUR English, in which you will be able to see news in different formats, news updates, and more. Stay tuned for more news. Welcome back to From the South. Russian Defense Ministry's spokesman Igor Konashenko said on Thursday that Russian troops foiled an invasion attempt in Belgorod, a border region in the southwest of the country.
This morning, the Russian armed forces, together with units of the Border Guard Service and other units of the Russian FSB, thwarted a new attempt of the Kyiv regime to carry out a terrorist act against the civilian population of the city of Shebekino in the Belgorod region. At about 3 a.m. Moscow time, after intensive shelling of civilian targets in the Belgorod region, Ukrainian terrorist formations with up to 2 motorized infantry companies, reinforced by tanks, attempted to invade the territory of the Russian Federation in the area of the settlement of Novaya Tobolsanka and the Shebekino International Automobile Checkpoint. The selfless action of Russian servicemen repelled 3 attacks by Ukrainian terrorist groups. More than 30 Ukrainian terrorists, 4 armored combat vehicles, 1 Grad MLRS multiple missile launcher and 1 pickup truck were destroyed in the border area on the Ukrainian side.
On Thursday, Governor of Belgorod, Vyacheslav Gladkov, debunked reporters about a mass emergency evacuation of residents in the Shebekino district and stated the authorities were ready to house people living in the city. Later, the governor said authorities are moving forward with the evacuation of residents. He warns that the evacuations aimed at Shilin can be dangerous. The city administration head Valentin Demidov stated that a total of 6 temporary accommodation points for more than 3,000 residents of the Shebekino district were set up in Belgrade. About 1,000 people will be accommodated at the Belgrade Arena Athletic Complex, with approximately 300 people already there. European leaders gather in Moldova on Thursday for the European Political Community Summit. The meeting will bring together the 47 European leaders to discuss peace, security, and energy. According to the European diplomat based in Brussels, the summit is meant to send a signal to Moscow that the participants in the event are standing behind Moldova and demonstrating a united front aimed to backdrop of the conflict in Ukraine. On the other hand, Russia's acting permanent representative to the European Union, Kirill Leonidov, said on Wednesday that the summit will be yet another attempt by Brussels to build an anti-Russian coalition and prevail upon other countries to join the campaign of sanctions against Russia. The government of China denounced the U.S. to refrain from signing trade agreements with Taiwan province of China in respect of the One China principle. The spokesperson of the Chinese Foreign Ministry, Mao Ning, affirmed that the action constitutes a serious violation of the country's sovereignty over the island, in addition to fundamentals of the nexus between Beijing and Washington. Likewise, Mao Ning rejected remarks of the U.S. and the European Union on the country's trade policies, assuring that the commercial transactions and cooperation between the nation and other countries are governed by the principle of mutual respect and shared benefit. The World Meteorological Organization voted on Thursday for Argentina's Celeste Saulo to become the first woman leader to steers these organizations. Celeste Saulo, who has led the Argentina Watcher agency since 2014, in remark after the vote, said one of her main goals is to amplify the voice of less developed world, small island states, and the development world. After her election, Celeste Saulo said that in these times when inequality and climate change are the greatest global threats, her goal will be to help threaten meteorological and hydrological services to protect the people and their economies.
The main goal is to work for the member countries and territories and bring their voice, the voice of the less developed world, the small island states, developing world, working all together to achieve our priorities. And we have discussing during the Congress our priorities. Early warning for all is a key initiative. We will work on that. We will achieve that all together, working from each country, each region, with each member to be sure that we meet their needs. Oh, I am definitely optimistic. This result shows that people are optimistic and that we can change for the better.
teleSUR English continues to grow. You can now tune in from 33 different African countries through StarSat. Dial 461 and join our Latin American alternative broadcast. From final short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. During the summit of foreign ministers of the BRICS and members countries held in South Africa, the top diplomats advocate to a strengthening of mutualism and the expansion of the bloc's cooperation. At the meeting held in Cape Town, the top diplomats intensified their efforts to strengthen a roadmap that seeks to increase multilateral cooperation and enhance influence in global geopolitics. The diplomatic representative of the group of emerging economies also addressed current international issues to climate crisis and the Middle East crisis, with emphasis on the task of solving a conflict between Russia and Ukraine.
This is a role we take very seriously, as we consider ourselves a mechanism of great admiration and support. South Africa shares the bloc this year under the motto Bloc and Partnership. South Africa works for mutually accelerated growth, sustainable development, and inclusive multilateralism. Our vision for the bloc is that our partnership will provide global leadership in a world fractured by competition, geopolitical tension, inequality, and deteriorating global security.
Brazilian Foreign Minister Mauro Vieira affirmed that the new BRICS development banks will expand its capacity to explore the new means of collaboration.
The new development bank will expand and increase its capacity to finance innovative, inclusive, and sustainable projects. As for the efforts to expand the bank's membership, we are ready to explore new means of collaboration with our partners in the development world, and we look forward to tomorrow's session with numerous invited representatives, friends of the BRICS.
During his speech, the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that the final declaration will contribute to the expansion of the BRICS group.
First of all, regarding the approach to the expansion of our partnership, we hope that the joint statement prepared at the end of the meeting, which was agreed with the participants, will be a good contribution to the preparation of the leaders' statement.
For his part, China's Executive Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ma Xiangshu, points out that the BRICS model has been actively expanded, reaching a consensus on cooperation.
We have actively expanded the BRICS model. During the discussions, a very important consensus was reached on launching discussions on the expansion of the BRICS by continuously improving the attractiveness, influence, and cooperation of BRICS. Dear colleagues, the world has entered a new period of turbulence and change. China fully agrees with the theme of this year's BRICS cooperation set by South Africa and will fully support the work of the South African presidency.
In an effort to stop and control the spread of cholera in the Kanskar township near South Africa's capital of Pretoria, Gauteng provincial government health agency has established a field hospital in Canada to handle the rising incidence of infections. The Department of Health has erected temporarily tents of threat residents exhibiting symptoms of dehydration, vomiting, and diarrhea. Patients are given oral or intravenous hydratations as soon as they arrive, with critical patients being transported to hospital in Shebekino from additional care and admittance. The International Atomic Energy Agency announced on Wednesday the closure of the investigation into the suspicious nuclear facility in Iran that Israeli Premier Benjamin Netanyahu spoke about on September 2019 speech. In a new report distributed to the organization's members, the agency stated that Iran gave possible explanations for the uranium particles found in the suspect Marivan site in Abdeb County. The report was released a few days before the scheduled meeting of the agency Board of Governors. Commenting on the announcement, Israeli journalist Barak Radid tweeted that the agency decisions is a blow to Israel because the information it provides led to the opening of the investigation, and the decisions closes one of the most important investigations open against Iran in recent years. On Thursday, Osama Sonko, leader of the Senegalese opposition, was convicted of corruption of minor after being tried on May 23rd for an alleged rape of Ayan Mausen. This verdict will disqualify him as candidate for the next elections. The prosecution requested a 10-year sentence for Sonko under accusations of rape, or 5 years for corruption of minors and 1 more year for acts of threatening death. The court verdict also sentenced the 2 years in prison the owner of the beauty salon where the alleged rape took place, Ndeye Karen Ndeye. She was charged with incitement to debauchery in the dissemination of moral images and complicity in the rape. We have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find this and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. You can also join us on our socials. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram as well. For Telesur English, I'm from the South, I'm Ana Marrero, and thank you for watching.